Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this week's episode of Mocktail Minutes. This is Bailey.
And this is Brianna.
This week, I am drinking a liquid death. Honestly, the whole time I thought these were like some crazy drink and I thought they were like a seltzer. It's literally sparkling water.
Yeah. And they have flat water too, or still.
Yeah. It's just water in a can
Yeah. It's pretty
with
good
no
though.
flavor. I mean, it just tastes like water.
Just tastes like water. Today I'm doing a spindrift. It's a
I do
sparkling
like
water.
those.
They're so good. I kind of forgot about these, but
Yeah.
I'm doing the mango orange. It's so good. And I like that it has like real fruit in it, instead of like
Yes.
the flavors or natural flavors. So
I drank those all the time when I was pregnant. Like that was my drink, but I haven't gotten them lately. That must be a new flavor. I don't remember that one.
yeah, that's why it caught my eye because I was like, oh, mango orange. I feel like I would have already tried that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like I need to like squeeze some lemon in my can or something.
Heart water.
I was like, it's literally just sparkling water. There's nothing crazy.
I know. I used to think they were like energy drinks or
Yes.
something. No, just water.
Yeah, I mean, I guess water gives you energy. The marketing is good.
Yeah,
10 out
it
of
is
10.
good. It is really
Spent
good.
like
And they look
$4 on water
fancy.
in a can.
Seriously. I went, where did I go? It was at this bakery or something the other day, and both my older kids are like, we want a liquid death. And I was like,
You
you,
can't drink those. Those are
you
bad for you.
yeah, like get one of the 75-cent water bottles and share it. I'm not doing $8
And share it.
for you so you have to walk around with your liquid death. Like, what do you think we are? No.
Yeah. Think we're rich?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, your mom's a dietitian. Okay, act accordingly.
Yes. But the marketing is very good on these. I will give it that.
Yeah,
I need some flavor though. I like my
we have
Spindrift
flavored
better.
ones.
Are they flavored? Like, how are they flavored? Do
I
they
think they
put
have like,
sucralose in them?
I don't think so. I think they just have like a lime, a lemon, and maybe a berry. I might have made the berry one up,
I'll
but
have to look for those.
yeah,
I'd much rather spend $4 on flavored sparkling water.
yeah, like an Olipop, something that just makes a little more sense. But yes, I do like them.
Yes. Well, today we are talking about under eating versus a calorie deficit. And these are often used interchangeably. Yep.
Yep.
Interchangeably. That's really hard to say.
Yeah.
They are often used at the same time when they shouldn't be.
Yes, they're used in the same context.
They are not the same, though. We're going to differentiate them because you may be someone who thinks I'm in a calorie deficit to lose weight, but maybe you're just plain old under eating and it's really wreaking havoc on your body. So, under eating, really, this comes from like if you've been spending a long time dieting, or if you're like, man, I'm really focused on eating healthier, and your eating healthier is just like eating less. If
Mhm.
you've been skipping meals, maybe you're stressed, low appetite, or just have some like disordered eating patterns. These types of things can lead to this under eating, which then often leads to nutrient deficiencies, weight loss resistance, hormonal imbalances, metabolic downregulation or adaptations, fatigue, and muscle loss. So, not really anything great that we want.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times we just do this unintentionally because we've had it so screwed into our brain that you must be in a deficit to lose weight, which I'm not saying is false, but we have to look at like what is your true calorie deficit? Is it are you doing that or are you under eating? There
Hmm.
is a difference, but it could also be maybe you need to reverse diet before you go into that deficit because your body is so stressed out.
Oh, yeah. And this is especially if you have been eating chronically low calories for a very long time, which I'm going to be completely honest. I feel like 90%, maybe even more of the women I work with are not in a deficit. They're under eating if they've been trying to lose weight. Like, because when I do someone's like total daily energy expenditure, like how much calories they need to survive plus their activity, they're like, what are you talking about?
Hmm.
Like, because it's usually always close to 2000, over 2000. And I know darn well they've been doing 1400 or less for
Yeah,
like a long time.
which is generally not enough for an adult. I would say, I don't know, what's your lowest that you've had someone go for like a healthy intake?
I think the lowest I've ever seen, and I had to like recalculate it a couple times because I was like, was like 1600, and this was someone who was like very short, not active at all, at all. But usually it's like 1700 plus.
Yeah, I would say most people need to be around 17, 1800.
Yeah.
I think I've had one that was like 1500. She was like 5 foot.
Yeah, like very
So,
short, not active, like yeah, it was rare. Like I had to recalculate. I was like, no.
like, wait a second.
Yeah, I feel like most women around 1800, depending on obviously depending on height and activity and all that. But whenever I see someone eating under 1800, I'm almost like positive like okay, they're not in a deficit. They're just under eating.
hmm And for reference, like we were just talking about this, so I think I previously used to never share like my intake or my weight or anything like that. But I don't know, like if it helps you, if it helps you, if it's not going to be helpful, just like press fast forward for 10 seconds. But I'm 5'3". I'm between like 125, 130 pounds, and I eat about 1900 calories a day.
Yeah.
So just to give you reference, a lot of times we see these numbers and we're like, oh my gosh, that is too much. I'm almost eating 2000 calories. I'm 5'3". Like I'm not a very tall person.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so you might need a lot more than what you think.
Most do. And when we're talking about like deficit versus like under eating, so I would say a deficit lies somewhere between your basal metabolic rate and then how much activity you're using for the day, right? So like your maintenance would be your BMR plus how much calories you need to do all your activity. Somewhere in there is a deficit. It's usually like 10 to 20% of your maintenance or 200 to 500 less, depending. But if you are eating less than your basal metabolic rate, you are under eating. So like we've talked about that a million times, how much calories you need to just like do your body to do its daily functions. Like if you were to do nothing all day, you're under eating. That's when you're at risk of like lowering your metabolism, having those hormonal imbalances, hair loss, brittle nails, trouble sleeping, constant fatigue, poor recovery, all the things that most women complain about. That's why. So, and I think that gets lost because like on, social media, whenever it's like, you need a deficit, you need a deficit. It's not that we're saying you don't need a deficit, but I'm like, we're missing the big piece where like you can't just keep eating less and less and less. That's not a deficit. You're just straight
Under
under
eating.
you're just straight under
Hmm
eating. And there's a reason you're not losing weight because most women are like, I don't know, I've been eating 1,250 calories for like 5 months and I haven't lost weight. I'm like, well, that's why. And then there's nothing scarier than being like, well, then eat more.
Yeah, when you've had it drilled in your head to like eat less to be smaller type of thing. But there's lots of things that can kind of come up with this too. So if you're thinking you're in a strategic deficit, but you're just plain under eating, there's like some consequences that go along with it. Number one, you're usually underfueled, overstressed.
Yeah.
Chronic undereating triggers stress hormones like cortisol, which increase water retention, affect your insulin sensitivity, and promote fat storage, which usually we don't want, especially when
Mhm.
we're trying to lose weight.
Yes, that stubborn belly fat. I'm like,
Mm.
yeah.
Other thing, I mean, like the metabolic adaptations. So if you chronically undereat, your body adapts by just burning less calories because your metabolism has slowed. You have a lower NEAT, so your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, also just like your movement throughout the day,
Yeah.
and you're losing muscle mass. It takes too much work to maintain it. You're not eating enough, so your body gets rid of the extra things essentially.
Yeah. And then when I see women like chronically under eating and then just trying to work out every single day, I'm like, you're spinning your wheels. Like, it's way too
Hmm
hard. No wonder you're frustrated. That's, I think, like, people don't realize how big a stressor is of under eating on their body. And like, they'll get, like, use their Apple Watch or their Oura Ring and like, oh my gosh, my HRV like sucks. And for a lot of people, like, that's a sign of under eating because it is such a stressor. And so sometimes when we're talking about like, if you want to lose weight, you have to lower your stress. Like, yes, we mean like, breath work, meditation, taking a beat, having work boundaries, time for yourself, but also just like those physical stressors of like you need to feed yourself. Because if you
Yeah.
can take care of any of the other stressors in your life, focus on that one because that is one that's like happening all the time, like impacting you chronically.
hmm
Mhm.
And I always just like to remind people if you think you don't have time to eat, you do. Make the time. You have time, you got to realign your priorities and decide what exactly you want. We can always come up with excuses around it, whether they're legitimate or not. Oh, I had a busy day at work. Okay, cool. At least go eat a protein bar. Like, go do something. I've
Yeah.
also done it where I've overpacked my day and like, oh yeah, probably
Yeah.
should eat today. So always making sure you make the best out of the situation. Don't just kind of put it in the fuck it bucket type of thing.
Yep.
But another thing that happens, I think, with like the under eating versus calorie deficit is we start to confuse weight loss with fat loss. We get
Hmm.
so obsessed with just looking at the scale, and so that's why we just keep eating less and less and less.
Yeah.
Chronic under eating, that's going to, again, you have that water retention from stress, so the scale can kind of go up with that. You have muscle loss instead of fat loss, and it can be like a skinny fat look or like a stubborn belly fat where it's like, I just don't understand. Like, why can't I build muscle? You can't build
Yeah.
muscle if you're under eating. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. And I've had plenty of women who are like, okay, I got to my goal weight, but like I don't look the way I thought I was gonna look. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, well, also, I mean, age, sure, factor, but it is likely due to the fact that you don't have any muscle mass anymore. So no, you're not gonna have the firm butt and like the toned look and like the slow-mo Baywatch going down the beach. It's that skinny fat look, which most women are still unhappy about. And then they have to dig themselves out of, well, now I have to actually eat more, really repair my metabolism, really actually strength train. And then that's just like more work.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So here's what you need to do: eat enough protein, especially, but also calories to support your metabolism. Not
Hmm.
to say you have to track your whole entire life away. Use a modest deficit when it's applicable to you, once your metabolism is supported. Prioritize strength training. Like, we can't emphasize this enough. If you really want to see results and you want long-term fat loss,
Yeah.
you got to strength train. I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
And then I would say avoid extreme restriction and honor your biofeedback. This is where it can kind of get tricky, but we talked about this in our last episode of like understanding your hunger and fullness, where yes, sometimes, especially if you're in like a reverse dieting phase, you might have to schedule your meals a little bit,
Hmm.
but not to where you're just stuffing your face and now you're vomiting. It's like
Yeah.
we're just challenging the stomach a little bit. It's not used to eating lunch, so we got to get it used to it. And then eventually your metabolism is going to pick up.
Yeah. Because if you are one of those people who are like, I'm just not hungry all day, those have really gone offline. Doing some intentional eating, even small, that'll come back. Metabolism's like, yay, we can do it. We love this. But I would encourage you to, if you're someone listening to this and you're like, maybe I do need a reverse diet, the strength training piece has to be there. Like,
Mm,
I'm going to purchase a giant neon sign that says that so that everyone can see it in the back of me when we meet. Like, you have to be strength training. I don't know what to tell you, but that's a perfect time to do it because technically you're probably in a little bit of a surplus for you and what you've been in. Great time to build muscle. We need
mm,
that, especially if you're
yes.
terrified about gaining weight, which I feel like majority of people are like, oh my gosh, is the scale going to go up? It could, but like short term, it's going to be worth
Hmm.
it. But yes, you need a deficit. And also, caveat, you cannot go from under eating to a deficit and expect weight loss. You need to go up to maintenance, work your way up there, and then you can do a deficit. So a lot of people kind of like skip that part because it seems scary, but no, you can't just be like, okay, well, instead of, 1400 calories, I'll just do 1600 because that's technically a deficit for me. Well, no, you kind of messed that up a little bit because you've been under eating for too long. Work up to maintenance, strength train while doing it. When you're ready, do a deficit and then don't stay there. That's the other thing too. Like, I think people are just like, we need to be in a deficit. And it's like, you're in a deficit all year long. Like 12 weeks max out of the year is what you're supposed to be doing for a deficit.
Yeah.
And those are for people that like, I feel like we get a lot of that from like bodybuilders, just to be honest, like the bulking and the gutting and the bulking and the gutting. So that might not even be strategic for someone in the normal life to be like a full 12 weeks out of the year. But it's like very strategic how you do it. It's not just like, well, this is my calories because I want to lose weight or maintain weight. Not the same.
And it's not always going to be like this quote unquote stressful, because eventually you're going to
Yeah.
get to your goal and then you're just always maintaining and you don't have to change things all the time. But I think the first part is, honestly, I think the working up to maintenance is the hardest part for people.
Yeah.
And then we do the deficit, and then you have to figure out, okay, what is your maintenance now? And we just,
Mhm.
you keep going until you're at your goal.
Yeah.
So it can take some more time for people. Some people it takes less time. It kind of depends on how much are you under eating? How much are you, I don't know, like almost committed, but how focused are you on reaching this goal? If it's going to take you 5 weeks to get up to 120 grams of protein, okay, it's probably going to take you a little bit longer, but it's all
Yeah.
going to be worth it in the long run. And just think about, would you a year from now thank yourself for doing this? Or
Right.
would you rather be in the same place you are now and continue just feel like crap? So
Yeah. I
that's up
ask
to
them
you.
that. Yeah. I ask them that all the time. I'm like, how many years have you been dieting?
Hmm.
30 years. What is 6 to 12 months, really, in that grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
But
It goes by really quick in kid years.
I know. Yeah. Literally. Right. And if you are reverse dieting, I really definitely recommend working with somebody that can help you through it because it's not easy and you're going to be very tempted to be like, okay, I'm ready, or I did it, or this isn't working. I think that's a good time to really work with somebody.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, everyone. That was your episode on undereating versus a strategic calorie deficit. We hope you found this helpful. As always, if you have other questions about it, feel free to send us a DM and we will be back next week for a brand new episode. Bye.